seen anything like this before.
Guys, I got a lead on what's going on.
Sensei Shredder.
This what I was building an army.
This is gonna be good!
Hi. So,
Hi.
You're coming to this movie. This is your second Turtles movie.
Yeah.
But there's this huge franchise. There's movies that came before. There's comic books. There's tons of action figures. What was your exposure level to the Turtles before you joined the cast?
Well, I think that if you were just being a human being on this planet, anytime from sort of 1985 on, you've been exposed to some Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles in some capacity. I had a younger brother. I have a younger brother who was really into it when he was a kid, and so I kind of got exposed to it the first time through him. But then my own kids, not long before we made the first film, my own kids were watching the film on the show on Nickelodeon, and they loved it. And they would watch it, you know, and they still do. They love all the Turtles, and for all the different reasons, because Raph is the, you know, Leo is the leader, and Raph is the sort of the muscle kind of brooding outsider, and Donatello is the smart one, and Michelangelo is the funny one. You know, I saw them respond, and yet, even though they had all these different characters, that they worked together as a team, my exposure to it was like, oh, this is a really great, kind of positive, fun thing. And so then when the movie came around, I was like, yeah, I want to be part of that.
Yeah.
I was a huge fan as a kid.
Yeah.
I grew up coming home after school every day and watching the cartoons with my buddies. And in our friend group, you know, we were each a turtle.
What turtle were you?
I was Donnie.
You were Donnie?
Absolutely.
Wow.
You got to be Donnie if you're a director.
I was going to say, that actually totally works.
For sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, Donnie's like, he's a man apart. Like, he's a tech guy who speaks his own language. And, you know. So it was really easy to connect to those characters as a kid because we were so close in age to, you know, the teenagers, the Turtles. So when I came on board, I wanted to, you know, bring each character to life in a deeper way.
Growing up, of course, you know, who didn't know about the Turtles? So yeah, I was pretty excited about it. So to be a part of it after having that, you know, in my life growing up is pretty awesome.
Yeah, so you're a kid fan of the Turtles?
Sure,
Me
totally.
too.
Yeah.
Big time. So let's nerd out a little bit then.
Okay.
So Baxter is famous in the cartoons and the comics for creating those menacing mouser robots. But I didn't see any on screen in the film, and I wonder, does that mean maybe we haven't seen the last of Baxter?
Could be, yeah, could be. It'll be pretty interesting to see what happens. But yeah, that could mean that.
Yeah.
Sure.
He also kind of mutates himself in the cartoon. So are you maybe...
The fly's coming. I don't know. We'll see. I didn't get this script until 2 days before I was supposed to shoot. So it's very top secret what happens over there. So you have to wait to the very last minute.
Wow. They don't even trust you with the state secrets of
It's
the
not
Turtles.
even about. It's not even about trust. It is about this is top secret, and all of a sudden, bam! There it is. Pay attention.
Right.
Uh-oh. I gotta speak for him. This is
Okay.
gonna be sad for America. He watched it all the time as a child. Bam! We both did. We both grew up. I was already growing up. Let's be honest.
Okay.
But I watched it. Me and my
Still
best
hasn't
buddy.
grown up.
Yeah.
Don't listen to him.
I have one of the comics in my backpack. In the
That's
other
what
room.
I'm talking about. Me and my best buddy Jerry watched it.
There was nothing more popular
Every
than the
day.
Turtles as me as a kid growing up. It's huge. Even living in Ireland, growing up in Ireland, there's nothing bigger than the Turtles. And now, I mean, and with the original movies there, you know, the one thing the one ingredient that really was missing was Rocksteady and Bebop. And now finally,
Bam, on the scene, on the scene.
Yeah.
and we got so into the characters. You know what I mean? We got together. We watched we watched the cartoons. We watched growing up. We read the comics.
Comic books, yeah.
I even housed the Rhino in my house for
which is
for a
illegal.
day.
Which is illegal. And so he's going through some stuff with Peter right now.
Oh, yeah.
But I really wanted to study the Rhino, but
Right.
obviously
It's not smart.
there's not much left in my house.
That's very method. It's very method.
Does method mean
And we're not talking about like a wrestler named the Rhino. We're talking
No,
about
I'm
a
not about
real
a real
Rhino.
Rhino.
Because I know you do some wrestling.
I do. I work at WWE. Yeah.
5-time world champion, this
right.
guy over here.
That's amazing.
I'm not even a 1-time world champion. I just realized that. I suddenly realized I'm a failure at professional wrestling.
It's all right. It
okay.
happens. You famously play Oliver Queen and Arrow, right? And now you're fighting alongside the Turtles. I have to ask, is it easy being green?
It is easy being green. It's tough to get sleep, but it's easy being green.
Yeah. It's been good to you, this color.
It has been very good to me, yes.
So you're going to write that into the contract next role. Green has to be involved.
Well, you see my bowl of green M&Ms over there? No, I'm kidding.
Yeah. Well, on the more serious side, so in this film, you're backing up the superheroes. On Arrow, you have the support team.
Yeah.
I wonder your approach to the role, with considering that difference, is that something you think you might bring to support like Flash and Supergirl when you do the big crossover next season? Is this something you can use?
I mean, there's not a lot of similarities between the characters, but I will say that as far as acting goes and gaining skills as an actor, I gained a lot shooting this movie and working in New York City, and it had been a while since I was a passenger on something. I tend to be driving the car on Arrow, and it was really nice that this movie is not called Casey Jones Out of the Shadows, featuring the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. It's like I very much wanted to come in and just simply add something to a franchise that was already successful, not take anything away, and hopefully have people come in, and if they love the Turtles, great, and maybe they also enjoy Casey Jones.
Mm-hmm. In the comics, Rocksteady and Bebop are kind of buff, and in this, they've kind of let themselves go.
I can see a six-pack right there.
Like, somewhere.
It's just a lot of hard skin, covering the
But
ass.
here's the deal. Let's be honest. How many times have you seen a buff rhino, like out in the wild? Rhinos are big, immovable objects, and so are warthogs. I mean, they're compact little destruction.
I couldn't have said it better myself.
Yeah, well, it's interesting. There's sort of a coming-of-age feel to this, and I wondered how consciously you drew on that trope in how you approach this.
We thought about it all the time.
Yeah.
It was, teenager logic is very different than, adult logic. And we wanted to bring that sensibility, that, sense of humor to action scenes and to the way the characters think and talk and interact and their banter.
Yeah. You spent a lot of time at the American Museum of Natural History in this movie, a lot of science time there. I was kind of hoping you'd run into Neil deGrasse Tyson, but right? Maybe next time. But I wondered, did any famous scientists inspire
you?
That's the one. You were doing Neil.
No, I was. Listen, Neil's a brilliant man. I totally exaggerated the nerd in him, but I was totally feeling him. He's a brilliant man.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, you often play characters where their ego sort of outpaces their ability.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But normally they kind of believe their own braggadocio, whereas Vernon kind of clearly doesn't. And I wondered why you made that choice.
Well, because I think it was important to see that he's uncomfortable as much as the agreement was that he would take credit for saving the city. In order for there to be any sort of redemptive quality to it at the end, that you needed to see that he couldn't really wear the crown all that well. And he's been kind of he's been making the most of it, and he's got the great seats to the Knicks, and he's got the pretty girlfriend, and he's got all this stuff, but it's not really him. And that was really important. I feel like if we wanted to be invested with this character and maybe continue on with Vern, you needed to see him as a real person.
Yeah. Well, I wonder with this character in the cartoon, in the original cartoon, right? He actually was sort of antagonistic with the Turtles. And I wonder now that they've kind of stolen his thunder, faux thunder, false thunder. They've stolen a little bit. Do you see a future in future films with him maybe kind of becoming more antagonistic or trying to ramp up his fame because they've taken a little away?
Maybe, I don't know. It's hard to say. It's now like we've now done 2 films where he kind of ends up on the right side of things, Vern does, and on the right side of the Turtles. So it's hard to say if where it'll go.
Yeah, and you'd come back though.
It'd be fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, cool. And I have to wonder, with something that has such a huge presence in people's childhoods, their lives, signing on to do something that's based in comics, cartoons, where fans are famously you know, dedicated and invested. You know, do you feel that pressure coming to a role like this?
You know what? I try not to. I felt it on Alex Cross, and now I just step back and go, okay, wait a minute. What can I bring to this, and can I bring my truth to it? And that's where I let go. That's where I let go. Yeah.
Let's light them up. Go, go, go! No! Sleep! I don't know if this is such a good plan.
Don't go getting soft on me now. Oh, this is awesome!
Yes, 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 yes!
Is he coming in kind of fast? That went well.
No! Sleep! Jump right!